Another Tesla competitor is on the verge of collapse. Polestar stock faces potential Nasdaq delisting after failing to file its annual report. Oof, the stock is down 10%. Down 58% in the last 6 months, which, may be a buying opportunity. I mean, it's only down 81% in the last year, and only how much from its all-time high? Only 97.62%. It's seriously not looking good. And this other Polestar ticker is now a penny stock officially. So either Geely, the parent company of Polestar, or Polestar will need to raise capital soon. So it is time to start thinking about Polestar's bankruptcy. Advertising did not save Polestar. But clicking the like button and subscribing can save this channel. I strongly disagree with this facepalm assessment. Tesla's compliance officers' lawyers must have done a literal facepalm when sending out this one to shareholders, which includes this post from Elon, where Elon responded with a yes to, if Elon gets 25% voting power, Tesla is reincorporated in Texas, and compensation package is approved, then AI and robotics stays within Tesla, and the company can march on forward to become the largest company in the world. Meaning, if it doesn't pass, Elon will build products related to AI and robotics outside of Tesla. The way these disclosures work, by the way, Tesla has to make sure shareholders get all the same information regarding what they are voting on, so it has to share tweets from Elon that can be material to the vote to make sure everyone gets them, because not everyone is on X. And obviously, Tesla thinks that Elon insinuating that if the vote doesn't pass, he will not pursue AI products that Tesla is material to the vote. The only facepalm I'm doing here is when I see people that want to be invested in Tesla vote against Elon's compensation package. Yeah, that's a facepalm. But letting all shareholders know what could happen if the vote doesn't pass, that is obviously a good business practice. Ooh, also check this out. There are some funds that are going to vote against Elon's compensation package. So overall, we have a strong signal that government pension funds in the US and their lapdogs will vote no on Elon's compensation package. And they do own a good amount of Tesla stock. Not really enough to tip the vote unless voting is really close, which it is likely to be. Unless all of us retail Tesla holders actually vote, then I think we have a good chance to get everything passed. Cybertruck Vehicle Program Manager responded to this post. Tesla employees mentioned they have Cybertruck stock with no customers willing to pick them up. Prices are too high, they say. Good news is the Foundation series may soon come to an end. Demand peak for sure as we see the prices on the used market come way down. I'm still worried for Tesla's Q2 and cash burn as inventories build. Other locations in Florida are packed and overflow lots as full as ever. Here's a response from Tesla. Not correct. We are actively building Foundation series. And Sawyer personally knows tons of people still waiting for the Foundation Cybertruck VINs. In the meantime, Tesla has just released a new letter to shareholders titled An American Growth Story. It's basically about Elon doing really well, and Tesla is asking all of us to vote. James is sort of predicting that the next time we see a letter from Tesla, it will be about how Elon Musk loves puppies and kittens. Well, they are doing everything they can. If the vote was a done deal, I don't think we would see Tesla campaigning so hard. There's a video of Dan Presley giving a speech about the Tesla Semi. He is the lead engineer for the Tesla Semi, and he indicated that Semi's production ramp will start by 2026. Gene Munster looked at the timeline between Tesla vehicle unveilings and the start of production and measured the minimum gap at 10 months. This suggests production for any vehicles announced in August would begin at the earliest in June of 2025. Seems like we are about to enter a tariff war between countries, and Tesla could be caught up in this, so it's important to pay attention. China signaled it's ready to unleash tariffs as high as 25% on imported cars with large engines as trade tensions escalate with the US and European Union. They're considering this tariff as the deadline for the EU probe looms. The EU is investigating China. So the tariffs would go from 15% to 25% applicable to vehicles with larger engines only though, which would mostly be Mercedes and BMW. If that happens, definitely you can count on the European Union imposing higher tariffs on China, which means when Tesla exports vehicles from China to Europe, Tesla would have to to pay higher tariffs. So the markets are not really happy with what's going on, and I think Tesla is caught up in some of that as well. Pepsi just announced that they have taken delivery of more Tesla semi-trucks. In the next several months, 50 Tesla semi-trucks will operate out of its manufacturing and distribution facility in Fresno, California. And if you recall, not a long time ago, the Tesla semi-expert, Bill Gates, stated it was impossible to make a Tesla semi, just like how many people are saying Tesla's FSD is going to be impossible to really make it work and scale. It's not impossible. It's just going to be late. I like this. This is Elon saying this was from a long time ago. I will not let you down no matter what it takes. But Alexandra just posted this and Elon liked the tweet just now. Obviously that signals strong commitment to Tesla, assuming that the vote passes. The new Model 3 Performance has officially received its EPA rating in the US. It gets 303 miles of range, which is 7 more miles of range than Tesla's original estimate of 296. And I think just psychologically for consumers, having the stated range above 300 miles, it just, I don't know, it just feels a bit more comfortable. Now, the old Model 3 Performance used to have 310 miles of range, but the new one will have less based on new EPA estimates. That's not because the actual range is less, it's actually more. It's just that EPA changed how they do these calculations. All right, this is just in. Tesla sold 13,500 vehicles in April across all of Europe. This is only 2.3% behind 2023, despite a complete removal of BEV purchase incentives in Germany and adverse incentive changes in various other significant European markets like France. And here you can see all other companies as well. And here's updated Tesla Europe market share analysis based on latest data just released. Keep in mind that this looks, I believe, at the overall car market, not just EVs. And because the government's reduced incentives, naturally you would expect Tesla's market share to go down a little bit overall, but we are also seeing more European price cuts. This is in Norway. So far in Europe, the share of BEVs in new car sales rose from 11.4% in 2022 to 13.3% last year and has remained stable so far this year. Norway is totally crushing it. Tesla has just introduced black 19-inch Gemini wheel covers for the Model Y in North America for $500. You can still choose the old silver ones if you want them. If you get a black vehicle, I think the black looks better, but if you get a white one, I would probably prefer white ones. White versus black. No, I think even on a white car, black looks better actually. That's just my personal preference. In the meantime, the price of these other wheels has been reduced by $500. Panasonic is out with profit warning tonight. The CEO says they are seeing a huge drop in demand for batteries used in specific models. Our challenge regarding the profit for the automobile battery business comes from a huge drop in demand for batteries used in specific models. Jeff says if it's true, this is most likely S and X being replaced by Cybertruck volume, with 4680 batteries made in the US by Tesla getting the full IRA tax credit. So Jeff is saying that less people are buying S's and X's because they are now buying Cybertrucks instead, and Cybertrucks have 4680 batteries which are made by Tesla. Now, slowing EV uptake may delay Panasonic's EV battery expansion, the CEO says, which may suggest Panasonic will not build a third battery plant in North America with its energy unit anytime soon. There are a lot of people right now discussing Elon Musk staying or leaving Tesla, so Sawyer posted this. Partly what makes Elon Musk irreplaceable is not only is he a visionary, but also a technologist with a deep understanding of many complex fields. He tackles problems from a humanity-focused perspective and somehow creates profitable businesses to address these issues. His knowledge spans AI, rocket science, robotics, self-driving technology, manufacturing, operations, business strategy, brain-machine interfaces, material science, and seemingly everything in between. His willingness to make significant personal sacrifices in the pursuit of success and his mission sets him apart from others. And while I often disagree with James or push back against him, I definitely agree with this. For the record, I think Elon deserves the compensation package that he earned. Well, this is good, and this should be more common. This town's fleet of 13 Tesla police cars saves taxpayers about $80,000 a year in fuel costs compared to gas-powered police vehicles. The town is saving enough on fuel to pay for 2 additional officers. We just traded our first car in this year, and we got $17,500 for a 2019 Tesla compared to the $5,000 we get for our gas-powered police vehicles. And this is despite the insane price cuts that we saw earlier. So at some point, the prices are going to stabilize and the resale value is going to be even better. According to Sawyer's calculation, switching all police cars in the US to all electric police cars could save taxpayers over $1.6 billion annually just in fuel savings alone. The South Pasadena Police Department made their entire fleet Model Ys. It's saving them a lot. Not only do you save money, you actually get a better car. Number one, if you just are sitting parked, you don't need to turn on the engine to have the AC running, or if it's cold, you still have the heat. The cars are safer. If you are in a pursuit, the car stays planted to the ground better. It accelerates immediately, so it's easier to maneuver in difficult situations. And if it's set up right, you don't even need to go to the gas station to have a refill. The moment you come to work, the battery is full every day.
Switching out gasoline-operated police cruisers for all electric vehicles is more about saving green than going green.
Over the last 5 years, Bargersville's police department has swapped most of its gas vehicles for Teslas.
Money. It's all about the money. We started the program because I needed 2 officers, and yeah, it was a risk in the very beginning, but it's proven now.
He says the town used the savings to hire 2 officers. One of the newest officers is veteran Cody St. John. St. John stands 6 feet 2 inches and says he's had no issues trading the typical police cruiser for a Tesla.
At first, it took a little getting used to, but now if I have to get a tire replaced or something like that on this car, and I'm in a gas car again, I can't wait for my car to come back.
The adoption of a green energy policy may be seen as controversial or even as a political statement, but the town's clerk-treasurer said this move is more about saving green than being green. Bargersville officers still have 6 gas trucks and SUVs in their fleet. The police chief says they burn through about $2,900 a month in gas, but with the 13 Teslas, the monthly electric bill comes to about $600.
It works. It's working. It saves a lot of money, and I have to think there's a lot of agencies in the country that are like mine, that it would work for.
Oh, AJ went into more specific numbers than Roland. So he says BEV sales increased 14.4% year on year in April. This is European data. Additionally, BEV market share increased from 13.1% to 13.4% year over year. What's also making it harder to understand how much progress we are making, the overall car market in Europe has grown too. So it might appear that EVs are not making progress despite actually being sold more because the overall market just got bigger. For example, if the non-BEV market hadn't grown, BEV market share would have increased to 14.7%, which would be more significant. So we are making progress. Oh, if you don't have that reaction, let me explain. See this camera here? This is from a Model 3 that was spotted recently testing different camera placements, and this is Tesla's robotaxi design that we sort of had a sneak peek into. And notice how this thing, the way it's cut here, it sort of resembles this part over here. Do you see what I mean? So the camera is probably going to be here, and the robotaxi is likely going to be a 2-seater. Actually, it's going to be a smaller vehicle than the Model 3. I am so looking forward to August 8th. Here's another use for Tesla Megapacks. Hotels can actually buy them. This hotel with 200 rooms now has a Megapack. We know that Tesla cut a big portion of its supercharging team in Australia, but we are seeing a new supercharger being constructed even after mass layoffs. So clearly progress is still going forward with superchargers, at least definitely in Australia. And I just saw another supercharger opened in another country that's not Australia. So clearly Tesla is still moving forward with expanding the supercharger network. Now, if Tesla goes with a robotaxi design like this, how is Tesla going to change these rear wheels? It seems like it might be a bit difficult. I'm sure they have thought of it, but I'm still wondering, how are they going to do it? Obviously, there's going to be aerodynamic efficiency gain from covering the wheel, but is it worth the extra hassle? James Stevenson, 5 years ago today, boldly predicted that Tesla stock would open trading today at a market cap greater than $350 billion, more than a 10x return. Then, for good measure, he told the bears to timestamp him and warned them that the party in Shortville would be short-lived. The market cap today of Tesla stock is over $500 billion. I became a Tesla stock investor in early 2019, and for Stephen Mark Ryan, 2019 was the deal of a lifetime, specifically in May. He bought more Tesla the same day James posted that. He was on a sabbatical overseas, and in May 2019, he dumped his entire remaining emergency fund into Tesla stock, buying at these split-adjusted prices. Dumping all of his life savings into Tesla was not the plan while on sabbatical after closing his finance business, but how could he resist these prices in 2018 and 2019, he says. He could not, so he did not. Zero regrets. Waymo shared some interesting info on how the remote operators work, including some videos. So here's how it works. My understanding is this is a remote operator. There's this pop-up, so you see what the car sees, and then there's a camera at the bottom as well. And then you just need to check these boxes, basically. That's one way to do it. And then the car starts going eventually. Here's another example. You can see that something was just dropped on the screen there, which makes the vehicle go that way. But it takes a little while for the vehicle to actually start moving. Nothing happens for a little bit. But yeah, you can see sort of what the car is gonna do. Interesting that the fence is not displayed on that LiDAR map. So you have to rely on the actual camera. And then the operator puts another one like that there, and it takes a while for the vehicle to start moving. So it's a bit slow. As long as it's not an immediate emergency, I guess this works all right. New casting equipment is arriving in Texas. What do you think Tesla is going to use these for exactly? Maybe it's going to be the robotaxi or the next generation vehicle. We'll find out soon. Tesla to showcase FSD V12 at this event in Michigan. And this is actually good for FSD in Europe because the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe will get to experience the self-driving technology firsthand. So that's why Tesla is going there. Currently, the regulations in Europe basically prohibit FSD from working, and maybe that's going to change. If they voted to not give him the compensation, yes, I think that will pass. To me, it doesn't make sense that they would say no to that. So I think it would be binary if they voted no, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the next couple of quarters are gonna be murky for the stock. And so as Chinese EV sales are growing but at a decreasing rate, US sales are declining, it's like you have to get through this time period. And so when fundamentals are murky, you need to look at technicals. And the chart is still in a downtrend, finding a base here. And so I think 187 is resistance. I've sold calls on this position. I don't think it's going to get called away. But I think that this is going to be the year, if you don't own Tesla, if you believe in like the Adam Jonas narrative of it's going to be mobility, which is robo-taxis or some type of Uber, it's going to be cars, it's energy, insurance, it's the network, then that's how he gets to the 310. I read the report.
Yeah, it's a big price target, right? 310,
right,
sorry
but it's
to
not this year.
310. I know, but it's still a big jump from, where it is today. And if you factor in what you suggest could be a murky road ahead over the next couple of quarters.
Yeah, I mean, I think $64 was what he had accounted for mobility. Just like mobility, I don't think exists today, right? So I think he could clarify if I'm wrong. That's a much, much longer term time horizon. I just think this is a stock that right now is in a downward trend, murky for the next 2 quarters, but I'm bullish longer term. So I have my position, I'll sell calls and just like trade around that. Looking at Tesla's past, when has it ever not been murky? I mean, you can find some short periods where it wasn't murky for Tesla, but almost always the default is it's murky, and it's going to continue being that way for some period of time until for just a little bit it's not going to be murky at all, and then the stock will explode, and then we will enter another murky period of time. Oh, the bots will never work.
Tesla, it's not for the faint of heart. We thought their Q1 earnings release was much better than expected. The stock has rebounded off the lows, but still, down almost 30% year to date, coming off a year in which the stock more than doubled. Looking ahead, we really like the detail they provided as far as AI investments and improvements in full self-driving software. We think that's going to be a key part of the story going forward. And looking forward to the robo-taxi day that they're holding in early August, that's what we're really looking at here with this story over the near term.
So Wall Street is beginning to pay more attention to Tesla's robotaxi and FSD, and that trend is only going to accelerate as time passes by. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you haven't watched this video yet on Patreon, make sure to do so. That's it for today's video. Make sure to click the like button so that we can make sure that there's no shadow ban on this channel. There's another video from my other channel showing that it's only getting about half of the views it would normally get because my videos are only shown to about 50% of the regular viewers in the first few days. And then after the first 3 days, it does push it out a little bit more, but because it's no longer news, it's old, no one's interested. So I appreciate everyone clicking the like button. That really helps. And going forward, I'm only publishing the full daily news videos on this channel, not on the old channel anymore. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Otherwise, YouTube may stop showing you these videos completely. Subscribing sends YouTube a strong signal that this is a channel you want to watch.